Katie, but I decided against it. It's kind of cold.
Well,
I moved my operation upstairs.
well, we are live now. Of course, this is the second crossover of January. We missed on our December one, so we decided to have two this month. And we weren't really sure what we were going to talk about. I was even trying to like find a relevant background, and I really didn't know what we were going to do. But Heinz, you threw a curveball at us in
Yeah.
regards to uh, a theory in regards to the new slate, new DCU. With Margot Robbie, she was in Babylon at the end of the year of 2022. She is going to be in Barbie this year, and I have no idea if Disney is still moving forward with the new Pirates of the Caribbean with her in
I
it.
don't think so. I thought I
No,
saw. Yeah.
that was canceled a
Pushed.
while ago.
Oh,
That was
damn.
amongst the 800 things that go into our chat every day. That was just one of the days. You might have just missed
That was
one
just
thing.
one of the things that just got
Because
lost in the
it
shuffle.
happens. Like, I'll go to class for an hour and a half. When I come out, there's like 13 different things that broke. Everyone's sharing stories and 4 or 5 flash gifs because some people shared it twice. That happens to me every time. I don't even bother sharing stories
Well,
anymore.
your hot take tonight is that you think that Margot Robbie is going to be retiring from Harley Quinn. No more Harley Quinn for her. Why do you think about why do you think she is going to retire? Let's
Let
just put that
me
out first.
expand on this theory a little bit for you guys before I get your thoughts, so you get where I'm coming from a little bit. I think that she's been doing a lot more like serious films, more films with higher end actors. I think that's where she wants to get in that level of being like a top actress. I think she's done enough of the comic book thing to get the exposure that she needed. Like, she has a built-in fan base now that follows her at 2 other films. Like, her other films are successful. So I feel like because she even wished Lady Gaga good luck on her role, and she seemed
Yep.
pretty much like over it at that point. From I watched that interview, and she just seemed happy for her and like didn't even really like have any ideas going forward. And with how popular the Harley Quinn animated show is, and they're doing a special now, and we see that like Titans and Doom Patrol, they've all gotten the axe, but we're getting another season of Harley Quinn, and we're getting a special. I think there could be a shot. It may be wild thinking, but I think we could get a Poison Ivy uh, and Harley Quinn as the act from the actresses, the same ones that do the voice acting. I think it's Lake Bell does Poison Ivy, and oh my God, Kaylee Kuko does Harley Quinn. I feel like they could actually do that. And James Gunn, because he did talk about wanting to include animation, and I find it funny that that's the only animated project under DC's wing right now that's going on. They pushed out the Batman. They pushed out the Batman Crusader to somebody else, not even have it under their HBO Max.
But that's not entirely true due to the new contract that Amazon has with WB.
Yeah.
It's still under their wing. It's just they are giving it to somebody else to broadcast.
But they're not doing that with Harley Quinn. They're only doing like that's the one that they have that's going to be on HBO Max again. They're already promoting they do the Valentine's Day special for crying out loud.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that
has a season 4 for it actually been like
yeah,
confirmed?
It's been
thumbs up.
greenlit, but
They even
we
got a new
haven't heard any more.
showrunner.
We haven't had any news towards like when the release will be.
It's sometime in 2023 is what was announced when the guy stepped down and said we haven't had any updates since then, but we're getting this Valentine's special, which I think like if you're not going to go forward with another season, there's no point to just do a one-off Valentine's special and never revisit these characters again. So I feel like that's something that they're going to do. Like James Gunn was even in this show, so I feel like
it may be the fact that they have Harley Quinn under contract specifically to air on HBO Max. So it may be in Harley Quinn's contract that it has to go on HBO Max. And so that may be why it's not going to Amazon.
That, and let's remember what James Gunn himself said. Like, he is not necessarily the one that is, because I think he had the best answer to somebody who was complaining about Titans and Doom Patrol when he said, I'm not the one, like, I can make decisions for TV, movie, and all other sort of media, but he can't make a TV show go for an infinite amount of seasons, you know?
No, it's in his best interest that those shows end it. Let's be honest here. I don't know what you guys think about that, but like I've been watching
Yep.
both shows. Doom Patrol. It seems like Doom Patrol is going to have a satisfying ending. Like honestly, it seems like they're going to set all these characters up for concluding arcs. Is what it looks like to me. Like I don't see a next adventure. I know people love the show, but it really looks like these characters are coming to. It might be even like end to end. Like some of them might die. It seems like they're really setting it up that like it could be the very end, which I really appreciate. Titans, I don't know what Titans is setting up really in terms of an end. It doesn't seem like that, but the Doom
I have
Patrol,
no idea where that show is
those
or how it
those
ended.
benefits gone for those to end though. He should have a complete clean slate to do what he wants, not having these other shows and you have people questioning because you have the Marvel model over there, and you'll have people questioning: Are these going to tie in? Are you going to connect these shows to? You always do. You had that when the DCEU was starting up. They asked, "Is Arrow going to come in? Then is Arrow and Flash going to come in?" You're going
Yes,
to have
but
that.
he did say there's still going to be animation that is not in the DCU. There's still going to be other shows that are not in the DCU.
Oh yeah,
That of Gotham Knights, I don't know how long that's going to go. But
you
in
don't
regards
you don't know how long you know how long that's going to
but
go.
in regards to your original hot take and conversation piece with Margot Robbie and Harley Quinn, I'm going to have to disagree. And the reason why I disagree is, she can wish Lady Gaga all the best because that's a completely different iteration of the character. We have talked about numerous times how Joker is completely separate from any other comic book movie, not only in the DC universe, but like it's so separate from what other superhero genres are doing right now. So I think that is just leaps and bounds away from what Margot Robbie was doing in Harley Quinn, in the Emancipation or the Birds of Prey and the One Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Suicide Squad. Just say the DC
But
universe, like from
all of her reiterations of the
yeah.
character inside the DCEU. So I will have to disagree with you because of that. And
That's a
then
good point.
also just because of the way she has been very uh uh she's been very adamant beforehand about how uh she would be okay with playing this character forever, you know uh so I think that she could and would and maybe will. The only thing that makes me hesitant is the idea of making the DCU younger. Not everybody can be young. That's just it's a very weird concept. Uh, I feel like some actors will have to be a little bit older, but like I also think
Well,
it'd be very weird if like a whole team that of the Suicide Squad is so much older than that of the Justice League that will have some villains per character,
well, and Harley Quinn's a psychologist, so that's going to take you 4 to 6 years to accomplish that. So I think it's easily believable if she's an older character. Mark, what are your thoughts? Mark hasn't said anything.
I
Yeah,
haven't
I
said
was
anything
gonna
because I honestly don't even know, like, because obviously we don't know Margot Robbie or her agent. Anything can happen. All I've been thinking about is just the discourse that's happened in the past several months about her as a movie star, and if her other projects don't do well, let's say, like, obviously, like, Amsterdam flopped, Babylon flopped. So if that keeps going on, then I think it's less likely that she's going to stop playing Harley Quinn. I think that'll have to be an avenue that she's going to have to keep playing. However, whatever way that the writers find to incorporate her, that's we're going to have to see. But I do think that just her career, I think it's just going to depend on how people respond to her non-DC projects and then her DC projects, because clearly the DC projects, like even Birds of Prey, didn't make a ton of money, but people do like her in it. So it might just be the fan response that keeps her playing Harley Quinn, but it's hard to say.
That's a good
Got-
point, though, Mark, about the money. If those films aren't hits, like she's doing those now, and if they aren't successful, then this is something to fall back on. I think too, though, Clay, if Lady Gaga goes out and wins an Oscar for Best Actress, like let's not say it's not out of the realm of possibility. Look what Joaquin Phoenix did with the role in the film last time.
True.
I don't know if that's as attractive of an avenue to come back and play a more ha Harley when you have this very
but here's the
outstanding
question:
acting performance.
do you think that after, like, I think that is a little bit of a silly statement, because you can't just say, "Oh, somebody played Harley Quinn and got actress
No, but
of
if
the
you're
year.
not
Now
getting
nobody
if
can
you're
play
not
Harley Quinn."
no, but if you're not getting that material, like you're coming on to be more of jokes. Like you're not getting like let's say Lady Gaga gets to explore this character way more than Margot Robbie ever has. And she's lauded for her performance. If I'm Margot Robbie, I'm a little frustrated that I didn't, especially the first film. Apparently, before it got cut up, had a lot of more strong acting performance from her, and supposed to rise up from the Joker in the third act and like push him away and like stand on her own. We didn't really get that in the film that got released. We got more of that in Birds of Prey, but like Mark said, that wasn't very successful. I think what did that do financially? Like 150 million, if I'm being generous. I think
It was
it was just at the start of COVID, like just
COVID,
before
yes.
to start of COVID. You're right about that.
But also, Mark, you said that Babylon flopped, and so I had to look it up. It has only made $30 million.
Yep. I wasn't lying.
Holy crap! I
Flop
felt
our lists.
well.
I think.
I feel like there was a lot of people talking about how phenomenal Babylon was, like the first weekend, I guess. But like, I guess I really haven't heard anybody still talking about it. That's insane.
Avatar 2 probably cut into its margins.
That's absolutely
That is
true.
also true.
Avatar ate everyone.
Birds of
God.
Prey ended up making at the box office 205
Okay.
million.
Okay.
So
yeah,
and it
just
had a
over
budget.
200.
Wikipedia says 82 to 100 million.
Oh, I was going
Okay.
to say 85, but okay. But yeah, I think it will. I completely agree with Mark. It's a well that she will still keep pumping.
That's what I didn't think about
that she
avenue.
can. And Heinz, I don't know how in depth you are with this character, but there's a character in, well, I guess he was in the Arrowverse for a very, very short amount of time. Psycho Pirate. Psycho Pirate is a character within the DC universe. He's the MacGuffin character.
Yeah, the one that remembers.
He literally remembers everything within past reiterations after things reset in comics. And they use him as like a kind of like, basically using the same words of the MCU, a nexus point like Scarlet Witch, and how they can like manipulate things and everything else. And I heard a funny theory about how because it was such a successful Charlie is here with us.
Hello, Charlie.
Fellow patron. But as I was saying, there's this theory out there that because Peacemaker was so successful that they make Peacemaker into the kind of psycho pirate character and remembering everything, so that way he can move forward with the DCU. But I feel like you can kind of make that MacGuffin with any character. You could even do it with Harley Quinn. So
you would,
especially with delusions and stuff. I feel like I
Yeah.
think you could easily do that.
I want to ask you, Charlie. Do you think we'll go back to the original question first?
what's
With
that?
Travis, do you think Margot Robbie stays as Harley Quinn, or is she out in the new DCU?
I think it's starting more and more to sound like he might be keeping little pieces of the stuff he's worked with already, and I think personally, like it would be stupid. Like she's too big to lose anyways. Like she's too good in the role. She's too big of a star. She's just I think it would be kind of dumb to recast her or just not use her, keep her on the sidelines. So like the right answer for me and what I hope they do is keep using her for sure.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I think that's the right choice, is to keep using her. You can't always have this niche art house technique on a storytelling. Like sometimes you do need those action films. And I think Margot may choose to keep doing the art house films. And lean on these films to kind of keep that budget going, like we've said. So, but it all kind of depends on if Gunn's going to keep her around.
Yeah. It's just gonna, for one, I know, and thankfully I have matured through the last year and have definitely put good use to the mute and block button for sure, instead of trying to open my big mouth on Twitter. But there's gonna be a lot of whining when it comes to what Gunn and Saffron are going to choose to keep, and what is going to go. Of course, you know, the Henry Cavill thing is already exploded. But I am curious to see who else he keeps, because I want to say he's not going to keep Ezra Miller. I want to say that he's not.
Please don't.
There's no way he's going to keep Ezra Miller.
But at the same time,
it depends how that movie does. Right?
Money talks. Exactly, Charlie.
For sure.
Money talks. I think 100%, just because there has been, I think, several feuds with the two of them via Twitter and Instagram. I think Jared Leto is immediately gone as well.
Oh, for sure.
As the Joker.
Yeah.
But like, do we keep Gal? Like,
I don't think Gal's staying.
I've been one to say if Patty Jenkins, if Jenkins is gone, Gal's gone.
That's what I think. That's fair. I think that's fair. That's fair. But no, I don't know. I think Momoa is interesting for sure, and it's been kind of sounding like too, like he kind of still wants to play Aquaman. Kind of what we've been hearing this week. Like he's Aquaman. Like no one's taking that from him.
I think the quote was like, "Nobody's taking that from me," or like something like that. He said in some interview.
Yeah. I don't know if that was just kind of like a no one's gonna be better than him, or like but I could see them still just using him in crossovers and stuff. Obviously, they still might use. I could honestly see like if he is playing Lobo, like that just being kind of a more pop-in thing, like kind of just randomly and stuff. Might do a series or something like that, but I still think Aquaman. Yeah, just like you guys have been saying, like it's just like money talks, and if he makes another killing from this movie, like. Can't just not continue on with that. So I don't know.
It's gonna be very interesting because I mean, I think most of us saw it. The Shazam 2 trailer just released. Snell made a very good point in the GUA chat. Gunn has very much pushed Blue Beetle, now Shazam. We have heard these are two movies that he has already written notes for. So he is already doing his job with these movies. But like, you know, even Zachary Levi, he was very strong with like, oh yeah, I'm safe. I got my job. We're good. We're Gucci, you know. And then I think like 2 days later was that Instagram live where he's like, and if I'm replaced, then I'm replaced, you know, and he was totally cool with it. So I'm very interested to see who stays, who goes, and for how long, because I feel like Gunn is not somebody who is to shy away from character deaths and other things like that. And with something like the new DCU, I feel like some characters could get lost in the shuffle, in the sense of like, hey, you're only going to be a reoccurring character for the team ups, or like, hey, you're only going to get this or whatever. Like, I feel like with how big he is wanting to go, I think some of the characters that we have seen recently, he's going to keep at like a shorter leash in the sense of like, hey, you're not going to go out and have all the fun that you were beforehand. We're going to give some love to these new characters. What do y'all think?
Personally, like, it was like that kind of got me thinking of like kind of what you guys have brought up about kind of like the younger kid, like Billy Batson. He's like aging up as like Zachary Levi. Like, I don't know, like they're gonna catch up at some point. So I know like recently in the comics they just did like he gets stuck in the Rock of Eternity and stuff, and or like before that it got it all out of whack and he was stuck in that form for a long time, right? So maybe they could do something like that if they don't want to use two actors, like they can stick with one that way. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah.
Mary, didn't they replace her adult character with her?
Yes.
My understanding was Peter Sandberg said once you turn 18, you get to have your hero character. So
okay, yeah, I don't know like,
how I don't know how I'm gonna feel if Asher Angel is like playing this character until his in-universe character turns 18 and then he's Shazam. That's gonna look so different, and I think a lot of people like Zachary Levi is a face and he is a name. Like you can't just, unfortunately, and I know she probably was really excited to be Mary Marvel and everything else, but the actress who played Mary Marvel, I think the actress who actually plays Mary is a much better performance, and she should have stayed Mary Marvel for the first one as well.
Yeah.
But like she was kind of a nobody. This other person who played Mary Marvel in the first movie, like compared to a majority of the other Shazamly that got powers, and then you look at Zachary Levi, like yes, I think
he's the face. Like he's the face. He's on all the posters.
Yeah, he's on the marketing. He's all over the place. Exactly. And as far as the idea, I still don't know how I feel about it. The idea or this rumor, or I don't even know how they even like got started, because I think it was kind of Gunn opening his mouth a little too much in the idea of like, oh, if we talked about maybe playing somebody else, so it got everybody all worried about like so many of the old actors playing new characters. I just feel like that might be a little weird if like a majority of them just pop up as new characters,
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I feel like it would look weird to have an adult Asher Angel turn into Zachary Levi.
Yeah,
He's an adult, and Asher's already changed a lot as he's like matured and everything.
He's 20 years old. I just looked. Yeah, he's already 20.
He's 20
years
old.
20 years old.
20 years old already. That's like, yeah. So that's insane. So I don't know. The next movie, at least, that's another at least like if they make it now, like 4 years. Like so he's
wow.
That's insane.
Might have to pull the de-aging makeup on Asher Angel.
Yeah.
No, I mean it chapter 2 de-aged. It chapter 2 de-aged all the kids. They had to de-age them because they were getting old too fast.
Yeah, during the flashback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for oh my god, for Asher to be 20 years old already.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, Travis, do you think Asher's going to become the new Shazam, the new face of the Shazamly?
Oh hell no!
Take over for Zachary Levi? No,
that's not happening. I also don't think you're going to get. You're going to throw these contracts to David Zaslav. He's going to be like, wait. We're still paying. Why don't you just start over and get cheaper kids, and we'll make them stars again?
Well, this was something that I was going to bring up in Charlie. I know you listened to Batman News Weekly. It was kind of more of a Batman thing with Robin and Hines. I know we somewhat talked about this, but how would you guys feel about a child actor only playing Dick Grayson only for flashbacks? Like we never get to see him as Robin, like fully. Like we only see moments.
Fine with
Mm.
that.
Yeah,
Good work.
yeah, I think that's fine. I think it depends how old like Dick Grayson is and like how big are the flashbacks? Like how many years are you going back? Like if the dude's 16 and you're hiring like a 13 or 12-year-old for flashbacks, then I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That is a good question. I think that you could do that for sure. For sure.
Well, I just think that if Gunn wants to get an established universe and move forward, I don't think we see any Robin other than Tim and Damian.
Okay,
Or
so like
just
start with
Damian.
Nightwing. So start with Nightwing.
We will have
you think?
Nightwing.
Okay. Yeah, no,
You could
I like
could
that.
possibly like put on the big screen like Under the Red Hood so we can introduce Jason as Red Hood, but we don't see any Robin other than either Tim or Damian or just Damian. So that way Nightwing will already be there. People might get confused, but we can just, have a scene or two with, some just what was it called?
Movie magic.
Just development
Flashbacks.
plots of flashbacks and stuff like that. Yeah, just telling the story beats, of the past.
Hello, Brent.
Yeah, let's throw it to the new person
Hello.
that showed up. Brent, what do you think about not having Dick Grayson as Robin, just as Nightwing?
I'm assuming in the movies.
Yeah, in the new DCU.
It's fine. In a perfect world, I'd think one movie with him as Robin would be good, and have him like graduate at the end of that movie. In an ideal world, but I would rather have him jump to Nightwing, giving us an opportunity at some of the other Robins, like especially Tim, who has kind of gotten the shaft ever since Damian came on the scene. I would rather have more. If we were only ever going to get Dick as Robin and no more Robins at all, then I would say no, just move to Nightwing. But if we could have him like for one movie and then move on and then, move up after that, then yes. Because I will say, I think Tim is the best Robin. He's definitely my favorite. I think Dick is a better character as Nightwing. I just, I don't want to necessarily jump immediately to missing that. Like, I don't necessarily feel like I need another Batman origin story, but a Batman who's a few years in and with a Dick Grayson origin story, that could be cool. That could be all right.
Well, here's a question. What if in order to like maintain some sort of continuity, but also be able to like have multiple instances of a character going at once? What if your TV shows were your young Batman and your Dick Grayson as Robin, but then your movie was an older Batman, so you could have theoretically a different actor playing, and then you had Nightwing Dick Grayson, and you brought in the young Dick Grayson actor from the TV show and all those to play flashbacks. And way it's like
I think that
kind of the way Star Wars is kind of doing things, where movies are your first level, TV shows are your second level, everything kind of accents.
I feel like that's a lot of hoops.
Like, it is. But like, no, kind of like an origin. You could just like simply, just have like an origin series. If like
they're not going to put Batman on TV though.
But no,
that's
I would be interested in Katie's idea. I think like if we were talking about people who would put Batman on TV, like that's a viable option. They're not going to. I guess we don't know. New management, but historically speaking, the only Batman we're getting on TV is the Gotham Batman for 30 seconds and seeing a cape in a flashback of Titans. So
No. There was an Arkham style Batman for like 2 seconds at one point and 5 seconds at another.
Or I guess sure Kevin Conroy played a live action Batman, but
hold on, right here. I'm about to show it. So literally
established Batman.
Batman
flashback. It was a flashback. It was in Birds of Prey.
Oh, okay. All right.
Back in 2000.
All right.
When was the pilot? 2002, 2003.
Sounds like 2002.
In that ballpark,
But we got a legitimate Batman on the small screen at that point.
Okay, no, like this is the same thing as Agents of Shield. Like,
Okay,
using
how about
that
a
that-
realized Batman who is a real character?
Yes.
We are not getting, and we have. We'll get old man Bruce Wayne in Titans, or old man Bruce Wayne in Crisis, or Batman who's wearing hockey pads in Gotham. So
Don't forget about in Batwoman as well for that one. We didn't get Batman, but we got Bruce Wayne for one episode.
This is what you were talking about, Kevin
Oh,
Conroy,
the
right?
Hush.
you mean
Someone
the
with
Hush
Bruce Wayne's
Bruce Wayne?
face. Sorry, someone with
Oh.
Bruce
Right.
Wayne's face.
Yeah.
Our first show of Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
in the DCCW Arrowverse, and it was somebody just wearing his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
Tough times. Tough times. It's okay. You guys tuning in for season 9 of The Flash? Anyone?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will watch
I'll be
the Arrow episode.
You can do it. Yeah,
I
no, that's kind of what I'm debating too, honestly. But I think I'm gonna watch it all. They're gonna bring. I hope they bring back Captain Cold.
I said
That's
that
the
I
number
will
one
watch
thing.
it as long as it keeps my interest. The moment I get like that cringe feeling, shutting it off.
Oh, good
Like,
luck.
I-
Yeah, I don't think you're getting
that
through.
might
I don't
be
think you're getting
tough.
through the first episode.
So
Yeah,
he's,
no,
so
that's,
Clay's out after the cold open.
Yeah, that's just not happening.
No,
Yeah,
I'll,
I go
I'll
in
be
with
there.
realistic
I-
expectations at least.
Clay's gonna watch the previously on last season. He's like, "Yo, what? No."
Yeah, why'd I even try this?
I'm still working my way through the last season of Stargirl. I'm only 3 episodes in, but I made a point of catching up on everything I had missed in the Arrowverse. And so, yes, I will be there for the Flash.
Stargirl is good. The final season.
Is
man.
it?
It's
Is
a
it?
good- it's a
Is
good-
it?
it's-
Does
it's
it
a
get
good
better in the
setup.
first 3 episodes?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Because
Trust me.
Starman is a douchebag.
Oh yeah.
And I thought season 1 was really strong. I thought season 2 was decent, but not quite as good as season 1. And season 3 so far for me is starting underneath season 2 was. I'm like, I'm starting to see why you guys
it's a
didn't
rough
make
start.
it past the 4th season. Like,
Rough start, but it do end very
all
well.
right,
They had a
good.
couple
And
of
I've
good
heard the
episodes.
finale is great. So
Yeah.
it's
In
not
terms of-
bad. It's just not. It's not
No, it's
as
just
good as
not.
it was.
No.
In terms of what Charlie said with Captain Cold returning, I would watch an episode as well
Is
if
he?
it had Captain Cold.
I don't.
I don't
know.
think
hope
he's
so.
going to return. The
Yeah,
actor, I remember him saying he didn't want to play that character ever again.
I wish
I-
he would. Whitworth Miller. I love him.
I feel like there
He's
might be a
amazing.
chance as an appearance, but not like I don't think with the CW. Like when he was on Legends, I think that kind of soured his experience, Katie, with the whole thing. That first season of
Yeah.
Legends, because he was just
Yeah.
come in for a couple weeks for appearance on Flash, or even come in for a month or for 2 episodes. Like he was never on like for a full season. So I think that might have
Yeah.
soured him because they notoriously didn't treat their workers the greatest. Like they ultimately had to go to Tom Welling and people from Smallville to find out like this is how we got such and such and such and such. So I can understand him being disgruntled, but this is the final season. I don't know how much fame he got off it for like to come back. It's not like he owes it this role. It's not like Prison Break or anything. So, but I would love to
No.
see him. Like one of my favorite episodes in the Flash is when he pulls Captain Cold out of the timeline to help him with the heist, and then
Yeah.
puts him back. And when he puts him back, Captain Cold, like Flash almost tells him what's going to happen to him, but Captain Cold tells him not to and just goes off. And I thought it was just a great storyline. It was the last time we saw him until he was a completely different character.
I'm actually watching season 1 of The Flash with my son now. We are just got up through episode 9, and the next episode, like on the thumbnails, I can tell it's the episode that Heatwave comes in. I'm like, great, we're gonna get Heatwave. We're gonna get some more Captain Cold. And I already had the Captain Cold episode. I'm like, oh my god, this first season is so.
What did you think
freaking
about episode 7? What did you
Yeah.
think about episode 7?
Episode 7, he asked me to skip through it because there's nothing exciting in episode 7. Do you mean the Arrow episode?
8. Episode 8.
that's episode 8.
Oh,
Honestly, it didn't keep his attention quite as strong as I thought it would.
Yeah.
But I think he found the Arrow a little scary. And so, going around shooting people and stuff, I think he found him a little scary.
Hopefully,
but-
get a little different interpretation of the Arrow. in
I
DC.
I explained to him there was another show with another superhero that will show up sometimes, and no, you're not ready for that one yet, buddy.
No.
Well, so that's a kind of good transition to an idea of with Green Arrow. Do you guys feel like they should deviate from what Arrow did to the Green Arrow character? in the
Yeah.
sense of
Yeah.
making him a bit darker, and I mean, yeah, that's really what
He
made
was
him. He was more Batman-esque for sure. You're already gonna have a Batman in universe, so you don't really need Mean and Green. Uh, so I would really love to have, like, of course, Katie will probably 100% agree because she just went through all of this, but having like a Justice League Unlimited Green Arrow, very kind of
Yes.
jokingly type of character,
Yeah.
the comedic relief for sure. Uh, but what do you guys think?
You need Black
Oh,
Canary
yeah.
there, first of all. Number one. I think that's just the main thing. You need Black Canary there with them too. That was like one of the big things. Like they had him or had her in like the Arrow TV show, like
did
multiple.
did the Charlie?
Multiple.
Did the
Yeah.
Charlie?
They had
They
multiple. They
they
tried. They tried.
they reduced the character
Um
to a love interest, and Sarah was more a
They
Black
they
Canary.
had Black Canary in here more than they did in Smallville.
That's true.
no, that's
You know, but that's not fair because Smallville wasn't a Green Arrow show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I mean,
you're talking
it slowly
about.
turned into one.
Yeah,
Almost.
I would disagree with that assessment. He became a regular character, but now
yeah.
I don't think we can take shots at Smallville for not having supporting characters for its supporting characters. You know, like I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, like really in the Flash too, like the core of that show, like for a lot of it is like Barry and Iris's like relationship, which is like I think how they could have done more. They tried, I think, with Laurel, but it was just I don't know, it
Well,
was a little strange. I don't know.
I'll take the Oliver and Laurel relationship over the Barry Iris one at this point in their respective shows. Any day.
Yes,
Nothing
that
against
that
Candace Patton, but they just nothing against Candace Patton, but they give her
Man.
the absolute worst
She
storylines.
seems done
They-
with it. She,
you
You
oh
can
man,
tell
she
she
seems-
thinks she's.
I
I
don't
believe
blame
she.
her.
Oh, it's garbage.
Oh
They
yeah,
should have
sure.
kept Patty for at least one more season.
The stuff that even the latest season, like I actually enjoyed the latest Flash season. They basically broke it up into several smaller arcs, and yeah, there was some bigger stuff that went along. But anytime Iris was gone, it was just a better show. And it's nothing against Candace Patton. They're not giving her anything. They're
Because there's
giving her
too many
nothing.
people, Brant. There's always like there's
Well,
too
you're
many
not wrong
people.
about that.
There's too
She's
many
just
people.
off with Dion, freaking I don't know.
Hey, I
still
gotta
has
wonder
time.
if she requested to have less time. I gotta wonder if that's like a choice on her part to say, I wanted to spend less episodes. I don't want to have to be up in Vancouver as much. But
It could very well be because she has complained before about travel, and rightfully so. Because there's a roadmap for the Green Arrows cut from like Katie said, the Justice League Unlimited. There's a roadmap for the whole DC universe. If you want to kind of use that a little bit, I think we're going to get a Batman that's very similar to the animated series, more so than any
Ooh, I like that idea.
anything
I
we've
hope
gotten
so.
before. I really think that's definitely a possibility. And with the Laurel thing, they use her as in a love triangle. That's the problem. They brought her in as a love interest, like the soap love interest between two guys, instead of what the character should have been, which is a badass fighter. They basically made Sarah into that character for the second season,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
like where she was away fighting, she was just equal match to Oliver in fighting. And then what they did with Laurel was really make you suspend belief because she trained for 3 episodes and then she's out fighting. The only thing that was believable about Laurel's arc as a hero was her dying in the end, because it made sense that the woman with the least amount of experience, we'll say. Like they even did it with Roy. It took a season and a half for he even came out. It took 2 full seasons. He started helping the Arrow in season 1. He didn't get a costume till season 3. And they
Also,
had him training the whole time, and they just built it across rather than a couple episodes. I really just thought that was so terrible, and it kind of did disservice to the character. So I really hope James Gunn does the Green Arrow and Black Canary. Like I love the DC EU Black Canary, but it wasn't very much. It was more of an ancillary character.
In the defense of that, I think Travis, I 100% agree. Laurel was mistreated as a character in Arrow, but I do think she has that background as a police captain's daughter who would have been taught how to do self-defense.
And she
and
was.
she's
They
trained with
That was
the
good.
tongue.
That was showed. That was good. I like that. I like that her independence part of that too, Katie. I want to say like throughout the first few seasons, I did believe like she could stand up to these. She even says it in the first or second episode. Like I was trained for self defense
Mhm.
as she's cocking the shotgun. Which
Mhm.
like I appreciate that stuff.
So
It's just
it's
going
not
up.
like she was starting from zero, though. I mean,
No,
Yeah.
Katie makes a good point.
That's what I'm saying.
and
That's
then,
what I'm saying. She wasn't starting from
Yeah.
zero.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But also after just random thought, because and not saying that any actor has to immediately jump into like new work or anything, but the actress who played Laurel, did she
Katie
do
Cassidy.
any Katie Cassidy, that's right. She hasn't really done anything since.
Not
like, has
much.
she?
Not much. To my
I
knowledge.
don't remember her doing a whole lot. But
She's had a few roles, but like nothing major.
okay. Mark, you're looking a little bored. I know you're not really big into CW drama and love triangles and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, I mean,
It
I
was
mean, I
terrible. It
tried
was terrible back
watching, like,
then too, Mark. Terrible
some
back then.
of the Flash like early on, but like I think just my ability to handle cringe for TV, it's just not a
Yeah, I don't. No one can blame. I don't think anyone can blame you for that. No,
But
it's a lot.
going
It's a
on
lot.
going on to a topic that I think you would have a little bit more to talk about, and we'll push it to Charlie first, being our patron. Charlie, I don't know how you would get in to watch a movie with how many goddamn comics you're reading every single day. Jesus. But what was your favorite movie of 2022?
Everything, everywhere, all at once. Definitely.
Still
Number
haven't
one.
seen it.
Same.
You
Still
should watch
haven't
it.
seen it.
Like I'd say, yeah, by a good bit. Batman #2. Then probably Woman King. Woman King was probably #3 for me. It was up there. Like I love that movie. I kept going back and back. I think I saw that 3 or 4 times. But yeah, no, that one I really loved. But yeah, I'd say
Unfortunately-
everything, everywhere, all at once for sure.
Unfortunately, no Oscar noms for Woman King.
Yeah, I know. Like Viola Davis was
shame.
she
Yeah.
was incredible in that. Like that, yeah. Oh man, no, it's good
I
stuff.
take the Oscars more serious if they had some sort of like poll or like you could mail in ballots and they counted them. And
I mean,
pick
they
winners
did
way.
that thing with the Twitter like most popular movie.
Yeah,
the
That's
Zach moments.
why I said avoid Twitter because of the bats. I was like,
Yeah,
I love
Mail-in
the
ballot.
smirk and not and shake of the head from Brett over there.
I mean, literally mail-in ballots. Then sure, like obviously, bots are not going to be part of that. But it's just don't trust
Stop the
people. At least
count. No, I'm
at least based on the pre-existing.
Yeah, I don't
so-
trust Twitter at all. Especially lately, I'm getting these
Yeah.
DMs for definitely Ponzi schemes. It's increased exponentially in the last like month or two. It's crazy.
Oh, Travis, I have gotten my Instagram has like blown up because of all the porn bots and stuff
Oh
that are
my.
liking my stories. It's insane. Like
I get at least 4 people a week following me on Twitter, and I look at it, and it's usually a woman with literally only 3 pictures, and it's always 3. It's always 3, and I instant block, and it's like, and they try to get smart with it, with being like, "Oh, this Twitter account was made like 2 years ago," and I'm like, "And you've only posted 3 pictures?" Yeah, no, sorry, click block.
Yeah.
But Mark, what about you? On the game says Danielle. I do not know how to pronounce that.
Daniel
one.
Deadweiler.
Deadweiler.
Okay, until has everything right or every right to be pissed off by the Andrea Riseborough shenanigans. What is this? I have no idea
Okay,
what this is.
I'll explain it. So for the Oscars for Best Actress, a lot of people were clamoring for Daniel Deadweiler until to be on there, but instead it was Andrea Riseborough in this drama called To Leslie, and a lot of the campaigning for Riseborough was with fellow actors. It wasn't through critic circles. It wasn't through other award ceremonies like the BAFTAs or the Golden Globes. It was just actors just quietly saying like, Andrea Riseborough, she's so good in To Leslie. And lo and behold, when the Oscar nominations came out, she was on the list, and people wanted Daniel Deadweiler, and I think like they were thinking, oh well, Deadweiler got snubbed because of Riseborough, but it's not like, you know.
I have
'cause-
never heard of this too, Leslie. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the
Shenanigans
cast.
makes it seem like she did something to slight or
Bots.
stop
Bots.
Deadweiler, to bat stop her.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So I only know from to Leslie. I only know Allison Janney and Stephen Root. Those are the only two actors I know.
You don't know
from that
Mark
movie.
Maron?
Oh, and Mark Maron. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I actually watched it last night because I'd never heard of To Leslie prior to the nominations. I think it's fine. I think Riseborough's good in it. I'm not upset that she's nominated, although obviously, you know, when you only have 5 nominees, someone's going to be left out. And, you know, Charlie, you mentioned, you know, Violet Davis, you know, Woodwind King, like that's like I would have picked her instead, but it's not like I'm upset because all these Oscars involving the campaigning, yeah. So because
Okay.
it's like when you think of every single movie, it's always the studio that's doing it, and we're already getting a
Yeah.
comment that's saying, yeah, it's not the actor, it's always the, you know, fellow actors, or it's the producers of the movie.
Mhm.
So it's like, and that's for every single movie that gets nominated in anything. So I don't think anything that's happened with Riseborough's nomination is that out of the ordinary. It's just that it's been a while since we've seen something like that for an actor rather than a movie as a whole.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Let's go to our next film buff, Katie. What was your favorite movie of 2022?
So my favorite movie was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And it didn't make Full Circle Cinema's top 15 list, spoiler alert, but I loved this movie. It made me laugh so hard. And I'm just a huge Nicolas Cage fan. So it was 100% worth my time.
Oh, this is the Pedro
I love
Pascal
it.
movie.
Yep, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah. Still haven't seen that.
It
It's
is.
so
Let
good.
me see here. I'm Googling every single thing that you guys are saying because it usually tells you on Google where you can watch everything. It's telling me that I've already watched this movie. I don't know how.
You watched the
But-
trailer.
Probably that's probably what I have seen, but I haven't seen anything else. And it's not telling me where I can see. Is this thing like streaming anywhere already? Or
I don't
no?
think so. I think it's just on VOD.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool.
So. Mark, tell us your movie.
Look, I'll be honest. Charlie already said it. Everything, everywhere, all at once. I saw this movie fairly early. I think it was around late March. In fact, it was the day of the Oscars. So the day that
Yep.
you know Will Smith did the slap several hours ago.
Just
I
I've
watched
heard
everything
around the
everywhere all at
world.
once, and that was a
Yeah.
fairly early screen because I think it opened wider in April. So like I went into it fairly blind. Although I love the Daniels previous film Swiss Army Man. I love basically the whole cast, and nothing at all prepared me for how amazing that movie was as far as the humor and the drama and just basically every single genre element that you can think of. I think that movie executes perfectly, and it's only really gotten better with age. And like obviously
Yeah.
that's going to be the one that I want to see win the Best Picture Oscar, although it has tough competition. So like I'm not gonna lock it or anything.
Like Top Gun Maverick.
You know, Banshees, Tar, all those movies.
Brent, what about you?
Top Gun was probably my favorite movie I saw. Everything
Oops.
Everywhere is the movie that I wanted to see and never was able to find the time to make it in theaters, and I still haven't seen it yet. I very much want to see it, so I know just the barest glimpse of like something to do with the multiverse, and I don't know anything beyond that. But I'm kind of just tune people out when they talk about it because I'd like to go into it as cold as I can.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I don't think that's on streaming either.
Not
that's-
last time I looked, but I haven't
No.
looked for a little bit.
You know,
Yeah, I just looked. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Currently, you can only watch it on Paramount Plus if you have a Paramount
Ooh.
Plus.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
Paramount
I
Plus.
still have
Showtime.
that for another month or so.
yeah, Showtime. I think that's what it was.
It is on the premium subscription for Hulu. It's on the premium subscription of Roku, Amazon Prime Video, and then everywhere else you have to rent it or VOD for $20. So
I'm logging into
This
Paramount
whole
right
renting
now
the
to confirm
movies
that.
for $5 less to buy them thing is driving me insane.
Well, that's because they want you to buy it. I mean, that's why
yeah,
they do that.
yeah.
It's just like the
awesome.
It's the medium-sized popcorn at a movie theater. It's the worst
Yeah,
deal you
yeah.
can get.
Yeah.
Right.
Go Larry.
I
Go
love
Larry.
I love when people get a medium-sized bag and then the tub and they just pour it and it's like boom, exact
Right.
same amount.
Yeah. Like fast food fries.
Heinz, what about you? What was your big movie of
Oh,
2022?
It's not on Paramount Plus, by the way. It's still locked behind Showtime on Paramount.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah,
so
I think
weird.
that's what it was.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Well, I'll see it eventually.
Honestly, it's pretty close between mostly superhero films I've seen this year. So between Wakanda Forever, but I think I'll go
That's
with
my
the
number two.
Batman. I go with the Batman.
That's my number 3.
I see you, Brent. But I'll go animated too because I've seen a nice few animated films this year, and I'd go Constantine's House of Mystery, and it's only a small 20
It's
to
a
30
30-minute
minute
Yeah. 30-minute
animated
movie.
short, but it really ties together the old DC animated universe, like the New 52 thing they did after that ended in Apocalypse War, and the new universe that they're doing now. It really ties it together and kind of sets up something that could potentially pay off down the line if they wanted to visit that. So I kind of I was not expecting that going into it.
Is this a thing? Is this a thing? All in the Game is saying, are the Batman hardcore fans still downvoting the other nominees because it didn't get?
Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't
Wouldn't-
see the hardcore
someone-
fans, so I wouldn't know.
Don't
It's
know.
yeah, sure someone is. I'm sure someone is.
Like
There's
I
always
just
someone
don't
there.
get like guys like Joker got a nominee. It's not. I'm not saying that just because like the Batman didn't get a nominee, then it's all over for us. Just relax. It wasn't our year for DC films or superhero films. Let's move on to the next one.
Pretty easy bit. It wasn't our year for DC films. One got canceled after it was made. For crying out loud.
Right.
Right, but
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the Angela Bassett with the Best Supporting nod,
Yeah.
and I mean that's a big deal because outside of Joker parts, that's never happened.
Yeah, it's
Huge.
what is it called? Above the bar or
Like above the fold, above the line,
Well, the
Yeah,
one of those type. Yeah,
So
one of the
got
ones
technical.
people care about. Yeah.
for 2022, Travis talking about animation. An animated movie is actually my number 2 for 2022. But my number
Super
one
fit.
film, my number one
I like
film
that
of
movie.
2022 was Elvis. 3.5 hours of absolute gold. Absolutely loved it. It was amazing.
3.5 hours?
Like it I believe it
That's
was
the only reason I
or
didn't see it.
it was
yeah.
no,
It's
sorry,
very
not
close
3.5.
to 3 hours.
It feels like
it's
3.5
about-
hours.
It was like 2:45 or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I think that sounds about right. Yeah.
I can't listen to country for that line.
But I will say this. Like if they release it, I'll watch it. There's apparently a 4-hour cut of this movie. I'll watch it. I swear to God. And then Katie, we could go on Slice of Film and you'll have to watch it too.
Fine.
Yeah.
I would say
No.
Glass Onion's probably my next favorite one of the year.
Yeah, Glass
I
Onion.
really, really like. That
I
one a
did
lot.
not watch it until just this past weekend.
Well, it doesn't count. It's 2023 then for you.
But you did watch it.
My number 2 was Lightyear. Don't know.
I liked
Don't
it.
know.
I only saw it once, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just a lot of fun for me. I feel like other than like the marketing mess and like all that stupid stuff, like just watching it as a movie, it was just so much fun.
Also socks.
Socks is the best. Yes.
Also, if you guys haven't seen the outfit was another one that was one of my top for the year. I think it's on HBO Max. But it was very condensed into like basically 2 rooms are where your scenes take place. And it's a very small cast, but it's very character focused and driven. So I would highly recommend that one.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well just throw another one of my top favorites of last year, and that's RRR, the Indian film, which is Also has just the best
yes.
romance
Uh,
of the year.
This was on Netflix, correct?
It's on Netflix, but here's the thing. Netflix has a dub of the movie. It doesn't have the original language version. That you have to go on the streaming service Z5, so it's ZEE and then the
Yeah,
number
I
5.
just Googled it and it's a drop down menu said Z5. That's interesting.
Yeah, and that's why I watched. I watched it on Z5. I refuse to watch it on Netflix because I just need the original language, and it definitely helps because you want to hear the songs in the original language because there's a lot of songs in it too.
Now, here's the question though. Z5, does it skip a free subscription or does it go straight into you have to pay for it?
You have to pay for it. You have to pay and then you watch it. Unfortunately,
It's like hard pass.
it's not like Roku where you can watch it for free, like that Weird Al movie.
like first month free, booyah, in subscription.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. How much is the subscription? We're looking at sorry. Whew, that was annual plan. I was like $60. What the hell?
Oh, steep.
Wait, $60 annually?
Yeah.
I mean, do the
That's
math.
not-
That's really not that bad.
That's not.
No.
That's
It's not bad.
It's a lot
That's
if
not
you
bad.
don't know anything else but this one movie to try. But for a streaming service, it's not that
No,
bad.
it's not bad at all. But for some reason, I just saw the number and thought it was the
monthly.
monthly, and that's
Yeah.
what freaks me out.
Well, that'd be absurd.
But monthly it's $9.99. So on the game says Natu should win the best song. Should be a big performance of it at the Oscars if they know what they're doing.
Yep. They better do a big performance and it better win best song. I'm pretty sure that's also the front runner for best song, unless
And
somehow
this is
Rihanna.
from RRR.
Yeah, for an RR. Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Very.
Unless somehow
interesting.
Rihanna steals it, I'm pretty sure this is locked to win.
What did Rihanna have?
The Black Panther song.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Lift
That's
me
right.
up.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like you said Rihanna, I heard Rihanna, but for some reason I thought Beyonce. I was like, what? Okay. All right. Well, what else we got here today or tonight? I'm looking at this, looking at the comments. Noel, hey, DC Studios 1 week in January 30th or 31st. Do it, James Gunn. We've been talking about this in the GUA chat about when it's going to drop. Charlie, do you think it'll be Monday or Tuesday?
I think he meant next January. I don't know.
Amazing.
Who knows?
That'd be
That
like-
thought went through my head today, and I was like, if that fucker, like, if he did that, like, no, but I don't know. No, I think 31st. I think last minute possible.
Yeah,
I'll be okay.
11:59 p.m.
Yeah, 11:59. I don't know. Yeah, I would assume he would want to like post it at a time that would create some traction, but at the same time, I feel like
just
he
rip the
could do it
Band-Aid off while
late.
everybody's
I don't know.
asleep, you know?
Yeah,
Wait,
he'll just
Didn't the Batgirl news drop late? There was something that dropped at like
forget.
10 p.m. on a Sunday.
It wouldn't make sense that it would be the Batgirl news because that's not really positive news at all.
I feel,
I'm hoping
Katie,
that
I
Monday,
think,
but I'm biased.
I
I'm
think that you're
biased.
right. He said before the 32nd, and what's before the 32nd? The 31st. And so I think that's what it'll be. I think it'll be the 31st, in all honesty.
Of course.
Yeah, that's how it should. That's how it will play out.
What do we have that you'd think I know? What podcast do we have on Tuesday on the network?
Well,
what?
I mean,
There's no live on Tuesday.
There's no
You guys
live
should
on
just
Tuesday.
change your day. You should just
But-
change your day.
Honestly,
Special episode.
Travis, in all honesty, you should make the announcement tomorrow. Hey, we will only go live when James Gunn shares the news. And then just like if you have to eat crow the next Monday because he didn't announce anything in January, just do that. Just be
No,
like, hey guys, I'm sorry.
Shout out to Snell. I'm fine with just more content for the network. So we'll hope for
Fair
tomorrow. I'll try and or for Monday, I'll try and scrounge up enough. Actually, we got a half decent amount of news come out so that we could actually have an episode. So I'm hoping
Better
that
than
it
what
does drop
Star
tomorrow.
Wars has.
I'm hoping that he drops it on Monday. Katie, most of our news is cancellation stuff. There's like 12 quotes from Doom
we have a
member
beacon of hope,
cast.
Katie.
Star Wars, you at
It
least
is true.
you do
The
at least
beacon
you
of
have
hope
a show
dropped
for
today.
Star Wars. You have, you got Bad Batch going on right now, which has been pretty decent, and you're not that far from Mando. Like,
Well, no,
sorry, Heinz is going to win that game every time.
Yeah.
The thing for us is,
See you in a
was
few
it today
years,
or
man.
yesterday, Katie, that there's been
The Hollywood
some,
Reporter guy tweeted the Ray gift with the eyes.
something about Daisy Ridley. I think it's hopeful thinking, but you never know.
A New Hope.
Yeah. Also, Brent,
hope
it was
so.
more of a joke because I wanted to make sure we mentioned Star Wars in some way, shape, or form.
Well, I mean, Mando is coming up. It'll be a lot of Star Wars soon.
Star Wars will
I'm
rule.
very, very excited for Mando.
Yeah, that last trailer looked awesome.
Mhm.
Really did.
Well, speaking of Mando, I know Travis missed out on it when we were talking about the last episode, but anybody here watching Last of Us?
Yeah,
Never heard of it.
I am too.
I don't do zombies, even
That's
for
how it
Pedro.
No,
That's
I was
how
gonna
it
say,
went.
Is it
I like
zombies? I couldn't have told you that. I honestly, I've never played the game. I have no
I
idea.
love how enthusiastic Katie was.
Yeah, I've never-
She was like, "I'm gonna watch it. We're gonna talk about it. Let's do this time." And then, like, the very next thing I see is a tweet saying, "Oh, I didn't know this was a zombie show."
No, I knew it was a zombie, but like I kept watching it, and there was this point where like the grandma, her face is all moving.
Oh yeah, there's
I
like
was
no
like-
sound. There was no sound. It was
Yeah.
just.
It was
like,
it was
I
ambient
was
noise.
sitting
That's
there-
all it had in the background, like white ambient
that
noise.
was
It
so
was great.
good. Yeah.
I was sitting there
Now I'm
freaking
more
out.
interested.
And
No,
I was
it's-
like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And so I turned it off and I messaged Joe and I was like, I thought I could do this. I cannot.
No,
It's not a
yeah.
zombie
And
show. It's a
Matt-
mushroom show.
These
Just think of
things
it
are
like
Matt
very
Mario.
creepy looking.
It's a fantastic show. I didn't play any of the games.
Me
I
neither.
think there's 2, and
Yeah.
I am thoroughly impressed, Brent. I think you would really enjoy the show.
I probably would. There's just so
So much.
little time. And,
I know.
So,
you got to
yeah.
pick your battle.
I picked the battle of trying to catch up on Stargirl. So
Yeah.
To be completely honest, Brent, you could, especially now that season 2 is now greenlit, I would say wait until the season is done. Find some time in between and watch it. Binge it.
That's
Like,
that's
if you
probably
can.
the best thing. And also, you said to everyone, probably not going to catch up to the Flash in time for season 9, but I'll catch up at the end.
You
I was like,
flew
oh,
through
I
that.
was like,
I
there's
had-
no way that
I had several days where just by happenstance, like the kids wanted nothing to do with me. They were just playing, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to put on another one. I watched the 6 episodes of Batwoman I was behind in a single day because it just happened to be nothing else was happening. I'm like, all right, I'll throw it on.
Beautiful.
Oh, look, there's Diggle. That was a waste of my time. But other than that,
No. Seeing him back in that freaking suit, man, I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, it's nice to see him back.
How did we
always.
get back to the CW?
So,
What's going on here?
I don't know. The Last of Us.
That's how
I've-
I feel about Sundance right now.
I have several coworkers who are very excited for The Last of Us and watching it, and some of them have played the game, some of them haven't, and so I'm not like anti it. I just right now it's not a priority.
Yeah.
I just think
No,
that
that's-
it's
I mean, it's on HBO, right? They're gonna cancel it anyway.
greenlit for a
That's
second
fair.
season.
It
Eventually.
is an
Brent,
HBO
that's if it's
show.
only on HBO
So-
Max. Steph is only
Oh,
on
it's an HBO
Max.
show. It's not an HBO Max show.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
they just
Oh,
put it on
well,
HBO
it'll
Max.
be all right.
well.
Then it'll get a good 4 or 5 years
I just think honestly it
or more.
I think that it's already breaking records.
Yeah.
I think the first episode has already been viewed like 22 million, like something like
They
that.
put it up
was-
on free, Clay, up on their
Yeah, they
YouTube
they
channel
even put it
for
on
the next
YouTube to
episode.
watch for free.
Very
This was
nice.
the exact same thing that they ended up doing with the Game of Thrones spinoff.
Didn't the
and I
second
think that-
episode gain viewers?
Mhm.
yes, it
Like
did.
that. I mean, that alone is
Very
a
rare.
fantastic achievement.
When you
Yeah.
go from pilot, because pilot's usually the big, and then pilots and season finales. Well, season
But
premieres.
the crazy thing about that, Brent, and we talked about it very little before and after we recorded, Travis, was it has football to go against. Like, it is going up against football on Sundays. Even more so, it's going up against the Super Bowl in February. So, like, that's going to be a real, like,
What
Oh,
it
time
doesn't.
is-
It doesn't
what-
have a chance.
What
against
time is it
Super Bowl.
on though?
It drops, I
on at
think, at
9
9 p.m. my time. I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
time?
Eastern.
What time is the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl usually starts 7. Oh well, that's
So
my
it is
time,
going to
so-
overlap then if they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there might be a chance. A
And
pretty
Clay,
good
it's Last of Us is 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
8 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
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 And Super Bowl is 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to overlap.
It's not gonna. It'll get a lot of like watches in 24-hour period, but
Yeah.
live viewers is not going to be that well. 86. We talked about this on DC Lions a couple weeks ago, I think. Just for the Flash trailer is going to be, people are saying, attached to the Super Bowl. 86 of the top 100 viewed broadcasts last year were football, and then there was 14 of other things, including news, Olympics. I think Yellowstone had a couple, but there wasn't any other TV shows that had like live audience. Like the live audience is football in America. That is number one. 86 of the 100. So
And it's also going to be, even if people aren't football people, it's going to be, the wives are with their husbands at Super Bowl parties.
I know
Kind
people
of
that
I'm
watch
only
funny.
here
just
for the commercials.
I know people that do that. I know people that watch just for the commercials and the food. They
Yeah.
come for the food and just watch the
And the
commercials.
halftime show.
Yeah.
And the halftime show, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I'm going to be there to watch the Chiefs win. So
But yeah, it's nice to have your team in there every year. It's pretty, or
Yeah.
around there every year. It's pretty
I mean,
convenient.
Go sports.
go sports. That's right.
Oh, you know, I hate when you do that, because like I can understand that if you never cheer for any sports teams ever, that's fine to be that way. But when you tell me, yeah, I cheer for the San Antonio Spurs, like I used to watch games.
Oh, you don't get
I
to
went
say
to
go
watch games.
sports if
You
you
don't
cheer
get to
for
say-
no, you
No,
lose that, right?
even if you
I-
even
I-
if you give
I
up
don't know
watching
anybody.
sports,
I don't know anybody
that
on the
don't matter.
team now.
There was a period in time where you were a sports fan, and you don't get to say woo sports like you don't know what it
Yeah,
means to
that's
cheer for a sports
that's a
team.
gray area there, Clay.
I let it slide, but then you did it last week. I was like, you know what? No, that's not fair. He was a Spurs fan. He was a Spurs fan.
I mean,
I remember.
I only watch the
He's
Chiefs.
got
I
the
don't.
receipts,
I don't
yeah.
really watch anything else. But I don't know. I'm not like I don't comment on sports ball and stuff like that. Like I'm like, whatever. I get it. I get why people like them.
So Travis, you'll find this funny. So Matt joined the Full Circle Cinema Fantasy League because we needed one more person. And then he got first place.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That happens. That can happen in fantasy. I've seen. that
Yeah.
happen
Oh
before.
yeah, 100%.
Not
I
for me,
went-
it doesn't happen.
I went 12-2 in the regular season in our fantasy league and lost because Jonathan Taylor sprained his ankle in the first quarter.
I will do you just one better, which is a terrible story. I've been in this fantasy league for 12 years. I haven't won it ever. I was in the championship game this year, and I was winning by 4 points. And then the Buffalo situation happened. I won the whole league, but because they didn't restart the game, the other guy had Josh Allen, the quarterback, and another receiver, and would have easily passed me. I had a running back that wasn't doing anything, and I won, but I didn't really get to celebrate, and my championship's with an asterisk, really. So I've been in that league 12 years, and I finally get there, and it doesn't even really count. So yeah, it was very. I was like, do I celebrate? I can't really celebrate. This was such a weird, like, you know. So it's brutal. I hate fantasy sports. I might not even play next year.
Fantasy. The idea of fantasy sports hurts my brain.
It's just
weird.
gambling for me, Clay. I just like the gamble.
Well, I know that it is, but like I've seen people like do like brackets and stuff, and like it just doesn't make sense for me. Like I don't know, like because you have to follow every single stat of every player and team and whatnot. and
Sure, but you need
breaks
to
my brain.
remember it shouldn't. I'm going to explain it to you. The way they look at that is how you look at comic book movies.
Mhm.
It's the same mentality. So I totally get why people get wrapped up into it. And I don't make fun of people for being into every sport and stuff like that. And just all they care about is having sports on their TV. I'm like, great, more power to you. They are nerds about a different thing. That's all they are.
Mhm.
And nobody does more cosplay than those guys. They're always wearing the people's uniforms.
Just example, Clay. Like
Yeah, not wrong.
the,
Not wrong.
the Geekverse guys do a fantasy draft for box office.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. You're just picking players that you think are going to have a good season, And sometimes there's trades. Some leagues have things like if you first place gets this, last place has to do something terrible, like get a tattoo. Like some leagues are crazy, but other leagues are just like, like
Yeah.
just money.
Travis, speaking about GV doing the film draft and everything else, box office draft. I'm gonna pull up MJ's comment here, but before I do that, I want to bring up All in the Games comment. Why The Last Man Show would have stood a better chance as an original HBO production. I want to say, me and my wife were watching Why the Last Man. It genuinely felt like the good years of The Walking Dead, with a little bit of how the production feels now with The Last of Us. It kind of felt like a really good mesh. I was really hoping good things. As soon as it got canceled, we stopped watching it. We just felt like it honestly just was like killed the hype for us. So I didn't even finish the episodes that were there. But MJ says, hey y'all, which movie, non-comic book, do you guys think has potential to be movie of the year in 2023? Let's go with Charlie
I don't
first.
even know what's coming out this year.
Yeah.
One
and,
answer.
and then we'll do our movie buffs with Mark and Katie. Katie is cheating a little bit because she is going through Sundance right now, and so she has a really good idea
Oh, that's so
of
not
some
fair.
movies that are coming out.
That's
them
not
from your
cheating.
predictions,
That's just
Katie.
more informed.
I know. Katie's
Yeah,
just like scrolling through
exactly.
the films that I have here.
So Charlie, what about you? What do you think?
Off the top of my head, the trailer, I saw this trailer a few days ago and it blew my mind. Probably one of my most like anticipated movies of this year is Beau is Afraid. Actually, like the Joaquin Phoenix movie. That one looks absolutely just bonker. A24, I think. Yeah, that one for me, I'm super excited for that one. So that's gonna be mine.
Okay. Mark, what about you?
Man, look, I would like to pick Beau is Afraid because I love Ari Aster and I love Joaquin Phoenix. But that Oppenheimer trailer, man, it's just been pushing. Yeah. And the funniest thing about it is it's not even the only big movie that week that I'm excited for, because the same day as Oppenheimer, you got Barbie. But since you said one movie, I'm gonna say Oppenheimer, because I feel like with Barbie, like that's like more unpredictable. It's like I don't want to pick that as my number one. So for right now, I'll just pick Oppenheimer.
It's a good pick.
See, with me, I'm like, you've got Indiana Jones, you've got Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. Like that one's gonna be huge. But I would definitely lean Oppenheimer or Dune Part 2, I think. Probably my pick would be Oppenheimer.
There's a Fast and Furious movie this year.
I was just going to say, I know.
You're all just leaving out Fast and Furious.
There's also one other movie we're leaving out, guys.
John Wick?
Super Mario Brothers.
Super
John
Mario
Wick.
Brothers, yes.
Mario Brothers. Oh yeah, you're right. Fast.
I mean, when was the last time?
I'm actually taking off work for Super Mario Brothers, but only because my son has school that day. He loves it. It's right after his birthday, and he's all about Mario. So I'm basically taking off to take him to see it.
Nice.
Oh.
So, question: I know that
looks
there
fun,
is. I know there is the category of like best animated movie. Has an animated movie ever won Best Picture?
I don't think so.
Nominated but never won.
No.
Really? Who was nominated?
Yeah,
Even
I think
nominated
Spider-Verse
is
was
Even
nominated.
Beast was nominated back in like 90s.
Spider-Verse, no.
No, Spider-Verse was only animated.
No, I believe Mark is right. I think the whole reasoning behind
there's 3 animated movies that have been nominated: Beauty and the Beast, Up, and Toy Story.
Right,
See,
none of them won.
I googled it.
I feel like Beauty and the Beast was kind of like the whole reasoning for the best animated picture category, wasn't it? I feel like that's a little bit of trivia that I
don't know the answer to that.
Have in my head.
That seems like it. Yeah, I mean, because I know like when the first best animated feature came up, I forget exactly, like, because obviously that was the year of Shrek, and Shrek won animated, but I don't know what the deal was as far as like the likelihood of it being best picture prior to the creation of the category. So it's hard to say.
So what'll win best picture first? A comic book movie or an animated movie?
I got a film that wasn't named. I got a
Ooh.
film that wasn't named for 2023
What's up?
that I just thought about. I want to see Wonka. I want to see Willy Wonka.
Wonka.
I want to see that.
Wonka
I
up
think
this
it
year?
could
Be
be
interesting, yeah.
It could be terrible, but I want to see it because I really did love the first original Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, and I think that's actually a cool thing to explore that character. I don't think I've seen
Yeah.
anything else they've done with that. Indiana Jones is another one, Katie. Like no one else said it at the time. That's what I'm interested in. I make jokes about like Indiana Jones and the pursuit of old age security, but I really am interested in going to see how Harrison Ford at this age is going to be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
But apologies, Chris. I know you love Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones. I know, yeah.
Well, Little Mermaid's another one that I think is going to do.
I'll
Yeah.
probably see that
numbers.
one. It looked pretty good.
It's
Yeah,
going to be one
I-
of the highest grossing movies of the
And-
year. I don't know if it's going to be one of my favorite ones.
If nothing else,
Yeah,
I'd like
I
to
know.
stick it to the people who are against the cast for reasons.
Right.
It'd be
yeah.
fun if nothing else, I'd like to stick it to them. So I'll probably go see it.
I want to say
Yeah.
Spider-Verse because I know it's superhero, but just because it's animated, I want to say Spider-Verse anyway.
They said not comic book movies.
I wanted to say it
So-
anyway, Brent.
So
Forget the rules.
You're fired.
I was kind of like tripping on what is coming out this year. On the game, kind of joking with it, but I'm super excited to see it. Cocaine Bear, it looks so stupid and
Yes,
so
yes.
Looks fun.
yes.
fun. And so
Creed
does Winnie the Pooh's Blood and Honey. Those are just gonna be two that I'm just gonna, for once, I know that I hate this phrase, but I might just shut off my brain and watch these movies because they're gonna be so.
You can't do
stupid.
that. You're not allowed to do that.
No, you can't. Like the whole reason why I say it, Charlie, I don't know if you've heard this before, but the whole reason why I hate the phrase shutting off your brain to enjoy something is you're literally saying, hey, I have to be brain dead in order to enjoy content. I have to literally be a vegetable and die in order to enjoy this thing. I think it's a really dumb.
Sure, it might be a little far, but sure, okay, all right, yeah,
Not
I get it.
literally, but
Is anyone
yeah,
interested,
no,
is anyone interested in 65? I'm just curious because I know Snell was super excited about that. Is that something
Yeah,
that
with
not
I'm looking
on
forward
any
to
of your lists?
looked okay.
It
Not
looks,
really. Not
it
really.
looks
for
like
me.
a movie that I could easily see being a waiting until I get home in the comfort of
Yeah.
my couch.
It
it
seems like it's streaming.
screams made for Netflix movie to me. Sorry,
Yeah.
Sal. Like just the plot of it screams that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but that I'm like, no. Well, that comes out when the same time as Shazam. I'll be at Shazam.
But
Yeah.
with
Is it the same day?
Yeah.
I think it is same day. That's going to be the real struggle.
However, if
but-
65 makes more money than Shazam, that will be a great story. So
Yeah,
Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? With what's lined up, maybe tomorrow or
But
Monday will change that.
with
but what's
with
lined up,
MJ's original question being, what do I think will get movie of the year? I don't think the last two have been nominated at all. If they have, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong. But Creed 3 is coming out this year.
yeah, I was saying that
March.
just then. Creed.
So I
Yeah.
think that
yeah, Jonathan
He could-
Majors is going to have a big year.
I think it
yeah.
could
Yeah.
easily be something that could get movie of the year.
I can't remember. I
Yeah.
think Multiverse. No, I don't even think that. I can't remember last time I've had a ticket to a Marvel movie this early for Ant-Man. Like
Oh, for
I'm
Ant-Man.
really excited for Jonathan Majors as Kang. I'm hoping he's a good chunk of that film. And when you just said Creed 3, that's another one. Like Brent said, he's gonna have a big year with me anyway. He's gonna be in two of the films that I'm really looking forward to. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they're going to do in Creed 3 because they kind of had typical. I'm thinking they might do something like might not end off with Michael B. Jordan winning. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to go. I think they're going to deviate from the Rocky strategy with this one.
Yeah, I really like too. They said I think Michael B. Jordan said like they've taken a lot of like anime influence for a lot of the fights and stuff. I saw that.
Yeah,
So that, I don't know
a
what that
click-
means.
A little
but that
clickbaity
means-
because like they keep using like,
Very.
the picture of Gohan behind him and stuff. Like I'm just like, chill out, people, chill out.
come
Um,
on.
But I'm looking at some other stuff. There's a crap ton of original like streaming movies that are coming out this year.
Yeah, we got
s-
except for
uh,
Rebel Moon. We got just first look at that.
I-
I'm excited for that. I don't know.
I will give it a
Should-
try. I will be completely honest. I despised Army of the Dead. I think that like the one thing that really annoyed me was like
Hater.
the purposeful like zombie pixels. Like I literally thought there was something on my screen for like
Yeah,
a majority of the
I
film.
didn't even notice that, but I'm not very
I
adept
didn't.
at picking that stuff off.
Yeah, it I don't know why it annoyed me. Maybe it's because I just sit in this chair way too often with these screens way too close to my face. But like I was watching it and I was just like, what is that on my screen? I had to pause, try to get it off, wasn't going off. And then like articles weeks after were like, oh yeah, Zack Snyder implemented zombie pixels. And
I didn't ever see that. I wish I got to look that up now when we get after this. I want to see the difference. Like that's actually curious to me. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
I was too
Definitely
focused
not.
on I was too focused on the shallow depth of field in Army of the Dead to really focus on the pixelated stuff because Snyder, he being his own DP, it's like
but it's true.
went too far.
Chris is here with us, joining us the last bit of the conversation. But I think I know what your choice will be. But MJ here in the chat is giving us a question: which movie, non-comic book, do you think has potential of movie of the year?
Movie of the year? Not comic book movie.
And also, what's the movie you're looking forward to the most, non-comic book?
Gosh,
So many
wasn't prepared for
questions.
that.
Gotta keep you on your toes right away.
I know, really. Geez, just join the chat hit me hard at that point. I got to pull up a list just to make sure I know all my choices here.
I mean,
That's
I'm just
what
gonna
I
Also,
tell you
your
now.
favorite movie.
Hashtag family.
Also, your
Yeah,
Favorite movie period.
favorite movie of 2022.
Favorite movie?
Oh
of
yeah, and that question as well.
favorite movie of 2022. Jeez.
You know what, Joe? Just you're not supposed to be here,
maybe
Joe. You're not supposed to be
he's-
here.
Joe's in jail.
He better have a good alibi. He should have been
After
here.
the last one of these, he's in jail.
Oh, that was hilarious. I heard that. I too did for that. That was funny.
Yeah, I got to think a little bit on that, but
Are you gonna say Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I think
I'm not
That's
going
what
to
I
say
thought he was
Indiana
gonna
Jones. I think
say.
it's that's gonna. I think it's obviously gonna be better than the last one. I don't know if it's gonna be my movie of the year. It's definitely one of my most anticipated movies of the year. But, yeah, I don't know what's hit my list. Super Mario Brothers is gonna be up there at that point.
yeah.
Yeah. On the game asks, is Snyder's Rebel Moon movie for this year? Yes, it's slated for
Yes,
December of
in
2023, so it could easily be pushed to 2024 if they need to.
Easily. Yeah.
Or, December 31st, like Book of Boba Fett was.
Yeah, I think we had a couple Oppenheimers. Bo is Afraid. Yeah. No, there's a ton of good ones coming out.
Definitely gonna be a stacked year.
Cocaine Bear was sad.
Cocaine
Yeah.
Bear, yeah.
Cocaine Bear.
Can't forget about that.
Winnie the Pooh.
I've heard like apparently there's some good and bad things to be said about Walking Phoenix and Napoleon. I've heard some
Dynamite.
off and on
Dynamite.
things about that. What was
I-
that, Mark?
I just heard someone say Dynamite after you said Napoleon.
I will have to say my favorite one of last year would have to be Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That has been a popular choice.
Yep.
It's a good
Yeah.
pick. That's a good pick.
That movie really surprised me. I was really trying to avoid all the hype so that it wouldn't let me down, because sometimes it happens like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's why I liked it so much. Like, I didn't see a trailer or anything. I just heard good
The
things
same.
about it.
Yeah,
I heard it was
sure.
crazy good. I was like, okay, we're just gonna go to a movie. I just saw it and I was like, holy crap! And just kept going back. I was like, man, this is better every time. Every time. No, it's a special one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's harder to do this, but like, has anybody been like? Because I used to do this, like, especially when I used to work at a movie theater. Like, I would just go see a movie, like, just randomly go to the theater, not have an idea of what I'm gonna go see, look what's there, and then just go watch it. Has anybody done that recently at all?
I did that with The Office. Or the outfit, not the office. Oh my gosh.
The off.
I did that
I
with the
was-
outfit.
Really?
Yeah. I was looking at our review list for FCC and I was like, oh, this movie needs to be covered. I feel like writing a review. I'll go watch it. And
Sure.
saw it in January of last year and it was one of my favorites.
I don't think I've done that since pre-COVID.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, ever since I got the AMC A list, I feel like I have a decent idea of what a movie is before I watch it. So I can't really say anything I watch is blind anymore.
A-list, we used to go, my wife and I, we would basically trade off nights and go, like one of us would go once a week. And the last movie I saw where I was like, well, she's willing to stay home with the kids, I'm going to go see a movie. I'll see this one, whatever, was Ready or Not, which was, I don't know how to describe it, like an intense shoot 'em up game of hide and go seek. I enjoyed it, but it was definitely a banger. But that's probably the last movie that I saw with that kind of. I'll just go into it not really knowing anything about it.
Yeah,
I've got my choice for 2023.
Here we go.
Ooh.
do it.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
All right.
Hell yeah.
That
See?
I like it. I like it. I like that.
I've been just a fan of that franchise, and then seeing that first trailer and seeing Kittredge show back up, said, "Oh my gosh, we're connecting the dots, aren't we?"
Yeah.
So I didn't know this about McQuarrie when he filmed, because he filmed the last two, right? Or just the last one, and he's filming these two.
I think he's filmed since 4, hasn't he?
No, he Rogue Nation was the first one that he directed.
Yes,
so
it was, yeah.
starting with 5,
Okay.
and then 7 and 8 are back to back.
Okay, so I didn't know this, but like the whole thing with Mission Impossible is that they were all directed by different people, and so
Yes.
Christopher McQuarrie decided the second one that he was filming, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a whole new style, so that way it feels like a completely different person."
Correct.
Yes, yeah. He purposely tried to film like unlike what he was doing in the last.
Yeah,
Oh,
got
that's
different
wild.
cinematographer and everything.
That's pretty cool, actually, to do it that way.
Yeah, it's I wonder if he's gonna like, has he kept that trend going? Do y'all know at all?
I think for 7 and I think he's using a lot of the same people as he did with Fallout. So I think he's starting to have a style that he's just going to commit to. Like I think like Lauren Balfe, I think is still composing 7 and 8. I think cinematography's probably the same guy. Yeah. So Katie, like you're on your way of covering the Mission Impossible films on Slice of Film. That's definitely something you're going to notice, that they'll have widely
I
different
know.
styles. And
We
then
noticed that
McQuarrie
with 1 and 2.
comes in.
It was interesting.
Yeah, I think it was Scott did the first movie. I did the second movie. It was probably one of my favorites.
I'm doing the third one.
Out of all of them.
It's a
And
movie, I'll
also-
tell you that much.
Just to pimp out a slice of film, this upcoming Monday is going to be Ranger Alliance, but the next Monday after that is going to be Mission Impossible 2 for Slice of Film. So get excited about that. But yeah, this all in the games question: will Dead Reckoning get any bounce box office wise as a result of Top Gun Maverick? I 100% think so. I think people will just see Tom Cruise, even if they haven't seen any Mission Impossibles, which I think might be impossible at this point.
Who in the world would have never seen a Mission Impossible movie?
I mean,
Matt, my husband.
other
There
than
you
my
go.
wife, my wife. Wait, you've never seen a Mission Impossible?
No.
Matt has never seen
You are
I
lying.
genuinely want to, but no. I've seen trailers for them. Like
I'll
I'll say,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is
I'll say I've seen a
Wow.
bit of one. I've seen a bit of one, but I don't think I've ever sat
fully
down
intend
and fully watched
to watch
either.
them.
I'm
I'm
One's
sure
my-
I will enjoy them, but
One
What's
is
my
by
most?
yeah,
Sorry,
one
Chris,
is
go.
by far the most different. Like it established something, and then they just the second one
I
just
was
like
gonna
says,
say,
middle
if-
finger, we're not doing that
If you-
anymore.
If you watch even watching the cold open of one, and then like going to that of like Fallout, like
Yeah.
it's completely different. It's so wild.
Yeah, because the first one's basically like
The
sort
TV
of jumping off the TV show with John
Mhm.
Voight's character, and then 2 just goes off the rails, and then 3, 4, 5, and onward they start doing their own thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a cool who did it type thing where I was always questioning what was going on. I wasn't sure what to believe. I thought it was really cool in that sense. Obviously, they stepped away from that whole formula.
It's very much of the 90s where it was made. It is very much a spy thriller of the 90s.
And I'm going to slide in and answer this before I jet because it's past midnight here. I don't think it's going to get much bounce for this film. I think this film has its built-in fan base, but I think more people went to see Top Gun for nostalgia reasons than it did for Tom Cruise. Well, part Tom Cruise, part nostalgia. Like there's definitely babies made to that Top Gun song. People did the Top Gun jacket.
He's like, wait, what?
Where are we going with this?
I literally listened to reviews of people saying like, I remember taking my girlfriend, who's now my wife at the time, to watch Top Gun, and like, we went back. It was everything I wanted and more. Like,
a lot more people saw it than just nostalgia. You don't make $1.5 billion on nostalgia.
No, but I think that's part of the reason why it soared up. Like, I think it had a built-in fan base that was eager to see it.
Mission Impossible is on Paramount Plus for the record.
Yes.
Brent, how do you feel about this statement? All in the Game is saying
I'm sure they don't do family the same way. So
No,
They kill family.
There's room. There's room for both. There's room for both.
Yep.
But Fast and Furious #family. Enter a mile. Win is a win.
But Heinz, you said you're gonna go, so go ahead and
go ahead and leave. Is what he's saying.
Follow me on Twitter, Travis_156. Drop me a line. We can chat about anything. Host 2 shows on the network. You can find them, DC Alliance and the Animation Nation. Charlie, thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a patron. And everyone else, I'll see you guys later. It was fun.
Good night, Travis.
Bye, Travis.
see ya.
See you, man.
And I
Clay, thank you for reminding me that I still failed to tweet the Indiana Jones episode.
She
I'm
did
sorry,
promise,
Chris.
but yeah. Did I promise I'm going to do it?
I like how Chris was like, "You promised too." Like, there you go. I'm so sorry.
I heard you say that on the air. I was like, yeah, that ain't happening. Your track record just doesn't point to that.
I'm so bad at social media.
This comment from All in the Game couldn't tell you the plot of most of them, talking about Mission Impossible, saying bar the first one, but remember all the action set pieces. And this reminds me of a weird piece of trivia also. The famous arm cocking scene with Henry Cavill. If you watch that scene, he grows a beard in the middle of pumping his fists.
And that wasn't scripted. That was him doing it just to like work his arms out or something. I did see a thing on that, which I have seen that fight. I looked up that fight.
But if you look close enough, he just grows a beard like in a split second. Absolutely,
because he can do it on command.
That is one of Superman's powers. So.
Wow.
Oh, don't remind me of that. There's actually
Sometimes super ventriloquism.
Yeah, there was recently. I think Brian Michael Bendis did something with that, with growing a beard and an afro.
Needs to go back to Marvel.
Yeah, I didn't read that run fully.
Oh man. But in the same vein of Heinz, I will be completely honest. My office is now temporarily a bedroom for my father-in-law, and I think he is getting tired, so I will have to bounce as well. So see you guys later. Of course, you can always find me at Fanboy Clay on Twitter. I host, of course, Star Wars Alliance and Ranger Alliance. New episode of Ranger Alliance will be coming out this Monday. Both Jake and Joe were there talking about the first 5 episodes of Alien Rangers. That was very, very fun. So go check that out on Monday. And guys, I will see y'all later.
Later.
Bye, Clay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Awesome. Actually, quickly, I want to ask you, Chris. Like just throwing it out there. I want to hear your thoughts, and also this is also kind of a recommendation to you guys. I know, Katie, you've kind of just started getting into comics, but I want to hear your thoughts. Have you gotten into Inferno Girl Red yet?
It should be arriving on. Last I checked, it's in Greensboro right now, so that means it's probably going to get here hopefully Monday, if not by Tuesday. So I've resisted all I have not opened the digital copy that I received from the Kickstarter. I have
Good for
enjoyed
you. Good for
little
you.
what I've seen, but if I'm getting it next week, I can wait a few days longer. So
Yeah. No, those hardcovers looked amazing.
yes,
But no,
yeah.
digitally it looked good, but no, it was honestly the best looking comic I've seen. Like I don't know ever, but in a long time. It was the best looking book I've ever seen. Like it was
I haven't
incredible.
heard of it, but I just looked it
Inferno
up,
Go
and
Red.
the art style and the covers I'm seeing, and some of the images looks pretty cool.
Yeah, some of the colors and stuff. I just read it digitally. I haven't read it physically yet, but no, it's a new thing. Like it came out on Kickstarter.
Is it Power Ranger inspired?
It's kind of Power Rangers. It's
Okay.
connected to, I don't know if you heard of Radiant Black. I've
Yeah.
brought it up before, but it's kind of connected to that.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's a new hero kind of stemming out of that, but it's its own kind of
Haven't read
contained thing.
Radiant
Mac
Black
Rooms.
either, but that's pretty
So
sweet.
on kids.
It's
yeah, it was fun.
going to be end up for release in 3 like bigger graphic novel format books. So it's a self-contained story right now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely highly recommend. Like it was special for sure, and I'm sure they're gonna do a book 2 as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was only a matter of time.
Does Image have a digital subscription service like Marvel Unlimited or DC Universe?
No, it's
They
just
don't.
Comixology. I guess you can get some of that stuff.
Why would you
guess
do that to yourself?
no, yeah, you don't.
The problem with it, Image in the sense of anything like that. I mean, Boom doesn't have anything like that. Dark Horse doesn't have anything like that. Is because particularly with Image, they lean on the creators to decide, like, oh, you want to put this back out? Okay, you've got to decide. You've got to front the cost of production and things like that. So that's
Fair.
that's one of the things that they have to do. That they own all the rights, but they also own all the Image will help out a little bit, but the brunt of the cost goes to the creators.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I actually just found out, unfortunately, this week I found out my pretty much the only close comic shop around me is closing down.
Oh no!
Finally, it's kind of been
That sucks.
a long time coming, but they apparently it's kind of in like the downtown of where I live. But they built like this big kind of hotel on top of the hill, and they literally after the hotel they came to the guy and said, "Okay, we're bumping your rent up 75%, like right away." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gone. Like, can't do that." So yeah, no, that sucks, but it is what it is, I guess. Gotta be taking more advantage of those DC subscriptions and stuff too. Like with that new Infinite like Plus and stuff, definitely gonna be taking advantage.
It's definitely got the better user interface than Marvel Unlimited has. Much better interface.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely agreed.
No, Charlie, I just knocked out I knocked out Injustice. So I got
How was that?
years 0 through 5 good. I loved it. I thought it was a great storyline. I always have liked the darker tones of DC, which is why I've always led towards DC more. I don't know. So I enjoyed it. Going to try and I need like Wonder Woman recommendations for like a book or one, I guess.
I haven't read too many, but my number one Wonder Woman story of all time for sure is Dead Earth by Dana Warren Johnson is my favorite Wonder Woman story. That one is incredible. The art, like just everything. It's short. It's completely self-contained. Has nothing to do with everything. It's Black Label, so that means it's just completely separate. So yeah, that'd be a good one to check out.
Another one that we've also covered on World's Finest True Believers covered the whole Injustice line as well as Dead Earth.
There you go. There you
go. I'll lean towards the relaunch of Wonder Woman by George Perez.
Sure.
Relaunched it, helped kind of usher in what we know as Wonder Woman today. I would say the first few arcs of Wonder Woman Rebirth. I'm trying to lean behind me and see. By Greg Rucka was a good reestablishment of it for Rebirth.
Greg who?
Greg Rucka.
Which is a solid choice. You really can't go bad with him.
Did you ever read the Wonder Woman Historia? I think it was.
It is absolutely the most beautiful book.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't go through that yet, but yeah, I heard great things about it.
Absolutely gorgeous artwork, just hands
Okay.
down. I mean, I'm so happy they're putting out a deluxe edition of that. That book needs to be in prestige format.
Okay. I have to pick that up when the time comes. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and from those order from organic price books actually that like from the comics winning from the comics challenge. I haven't went fully through Catwoman Lonely City yet.
So
I got the
good.
hardcover of that. Yeah, freaking incredible. And then the omnibus of Grant Morrison's Batman run, which is just top tier. Like so far. Like can't really get better than that. That's top tier Batman for sure. So yeah, I don't know. You guys getting excited for Ant-Man?
Yeah.
I'm excited for Jonathan Majors.
That's
That's
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm, that is fair. I think King. I'm very, very interested in what they're going to do with King.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really cool character. They're clearly leaning into his. I mean, they gave him the costume. Like, shouldn't be surprised, but he looks fantastic. I'm very excited to see what they do with him.
How much MODOK do you think we're gonna get? Like, we haven't seen a ton of them, but
It's
like,
gonna be a
I don't know.
cameo, I feel like.
Such a weird character. In all forms, every interpretation. MODOK is so weird.
I sense he's like his little minion that he's able to utilize for his own means, but not necessarily to. I think it's more for the shock value more than where Darren Cross has a bigger role in this movie than he actually does.
He'll be like the one that like the Wasp is taking out while Ant-Man is getting the crap kicked out of him by King.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Just hope he keeps the mask on. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
You'll see it at points. You'll see it on and off.
Yeah, just that one shot. Yeah, didn't look the best, but yeah, we'll have to see it in full form.
But as we said in Marvel Alliance, that's the point of the character. It's supposed to be ridiculous. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, it looks bad." It's like, when is MODOK supposed to look good?
It's supposed, there's a difference between ridiculous and like that, like you just dragged and dropped something on the guy's face. That's just like the look. Like it looked bad in that one shot. Like that, like
luckily that one shot he was in the background in motion. Like I want, for me, I'm like, give me one shot of the face, because that is the more comic style look, and then I don't care because the helmet, the Iron Man MODOK helmet thing he is wearing looks pretty cool. So give me that one shot, and then I don't care after that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Such a goofy character.
All in the game saying would like to see Ant-Man get $100 million domestic opening. I mean, that would be a coup for them. That really would
that'd
be
huge for Ant-Man.
Yeah, what was the opening of the other two?
I'm looking it up.
I want to say.
Right, while you look that up, I have got to go, y'all. I need to finish a Sundance review. Mark's waiting on me. I know he is.
Yeah, I think I should be going to just so I can help out Katie as well.
All right.
But y'all, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, at Katie. If for some reason social media all explodes, you can follow my website at sliceofkatie.com, and that is where I will let you guys know where I'll be next. My two shows on the Geek Ultimate Alliance podcast network, Star Wars Alliance of the A and the Lore is very important. Don't forget it. I tend to tweet there more than Slice of Film. Slice of Film gets forgotten. I'm sorry. But Slice of Film is on Twitter. It's at Slice of Film 1 for when I do tweet. So those are where you can find us. And as always, this is fun, guys. Charlie, thanks for being a patron. And y'all have a good night.
See you, Katie.
Take care. See you, Katie.
And then you guys can find me on Twitter at natcram92796 and on Instagram at natcram927. It's been fun chatting a bit, even though obviously I'm not much of a comics person or a DC TV person. But
cool
yeah, I mean,
having you join in. This is
for sure.
Nice.
Happy to be here and hope to come back for another session. Nice to have you here, Charlie. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you guys.
See you, Mark.
See you, man.
So I looked it up. Ant-Man 1 made $57 million domestic opening weekend. Ant-Man and the Wasp was 75. So 100 would be a pretty good jump there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that would be good. I could see this one. I don't know. I'm curious. I could see this one having the potential to be the biggest one,
Of the three, yes, I think.
Yes, I like it has that potential for sure, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Just we haven't seen anything from the Marvels, like literally
Nothing.
whatsoever.
We haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
I think either at SDCC or D23, at one of those, I think people saw something, but it was exclusive to that con.
Okay. Yeah, I heard something saying something might be. Was it maybe on Marvel Alliance? One of you guys
Yeah,
said
I
something might
said
be shown at the Super Bowl.
There's
or something?
rumors of a teaser
Possibly?
at the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
So.
guess we'll see. Excited for that Flash trailer though. I'm still, I don't know, with all the controversies. I want to see Michael Keaton back, man. I'm excited for all the characters we can see, and no, I don't know. I think that one might.
The controversies aren't keeping
has
me
good
from that
potential.
movie.
No,
Sorry,
I'll be there. I'll be there at that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah.
well, I think I chased everyone away.
I think you did.
It's my fault. We thought Joe would chase everyone away with the murder talk, but no, I just chased everyone away by showing my face. So
You're all good.
That's all right. I think this is probably a good place to wrap it
yeah,
up.
definitely. Well, Charlie, thanks for as always being a patron, and tell people they can follow you and plug your show.
Pretty much just kind of on Twitter. You can follow me at DC Cavalier. Also doing the Radiant Black podcast over there, covering all those issues. Just had an interview with the writer of Inferno Girl Red that we put out on Wednesday, kind of going through that, previewing that with him.
That's awesome.
With the awesome Matt Groom. So that was a good time, and so check out that book if you haven't seen it. It's freaking fantastic, and that's pretty much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks.
man.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
And Brett?
Brentech Prime on Twitter, on TikTok, so that's mainly where I'm at still.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Chris Balga, and you can follow Marvel Alliance at Marvel A Podcast, and the My Other Show, World's Finest True Believers. Dropping new episode tomorrow morning. First manga is going to be dropped.
Nice.
Lisa from I Love That Movie is coming on, and I'll just leave it at that. You'll see it in the feeds tomorrow morning.
Nice.
All right.
For that.
Y'all,
All right.
thank y'all for listening, and we will see you next month. Bye-bye.
See you later.